Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, my friend. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Susan. Oh, hi, CC. Good to see you. Hello, Doreen. Hello, Alfred. Hello, Elizabeth. Hi, Debbie. Jerry. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Karen. Hi, G. Hello, Carla. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello from Northern Ireland. Oh, hello, Joe, my Irish friend. How are you doing? Does any one of you joining Kia Rato this morning? It's still going on, actually. I think she's coming to the end of it. Oh, hello, Alison. Hello, Camilo. Hello, Gail. This is my last day in the Mekong. This is my final day. And after this tour, I will actually catch maybe a scooter to the airport. And yeah, and I hope I will see some of you tomorrow in Hanoi. Hanoi is very beautiful. Can't wait to hear about this Buddha. Never seen before. Well, he doesn't really have a story, Elizabeth. So you see a lot of like childish statue like this, and it's originally from Japan, like that. Japan are originally from Japan and China, but then considering these statues as a decoration, they make the ambient become more peaceful and a little bit more joyful as well. So the story I will cover today is the story of Bodhidharma. That we got a big statue of him that I will show you in the main hall of this temple. What? Oh, it's a fan that he has in his hand. You see, so it's a very jovial depiction, like a fan. You can only the monk or even us, right? We're only carrying a fan. The weather is too hot, like that. But then here he also carry a god, so he's like a dry god that he used to carry water like that. I was surprised. Like last night I checked, there was like 45 bookings. I don't expect a lot of people joining, but now I see more and more of you coming, which make me very happy. So, hello everyone. Hello Steve. Hello Amber. Hello Eb. Hello John. So let me show you a few small. It looks something like this. I like it. I like looking at it. Normally the other statue that we see today, it will have a more like I would say a serious vibe. But these are just like joyful, jovial. Like that. Hello, Laurie. Good evening. Good morning. Joe, right now it is 7 a.m. in Vietnam, and actually it's time to start the tour. And if you are new to the tour, and my name is Hugh, Hieu, so you can pronounce it like huge, like Hugh Jackman, or maybe healing, like that, or like huge, like big. But my name, it means respectful in the language in Vietnamese. And today is a slow page like Zen tour. I will take you. This is actually the biggest monastery in the Mekong Delta, and we're gonna walk around. So it will be around 45 minutes walking around the temple, seeing different structures. And I will explain to you about stories in Buddhism. I think we will cover the story of Bodhidharma today, and there will be a lot of beautiful things to see as well. But if you have any question in the chat, please type it down. I will try my best to answer everything. And please make the chat become fun, and interactive. So Spring will be in the chat, and she will be answering some of your questions as well. But yes, whenever I do a pagoda tour, I tend to covering the story first because they say, oh, it's begin right like 2,500 years ago. This man over here, his name is Siddhartha Gautama, and he's left his kingdom as a prince. He went into the wilderness in search of enlightenment. In the end, he reached it. He sit under a Bodhi tree. So now you can see a statue, a very gentle statue of him like that. So that's the symbol, right? That's the birth of Buddhism. And since then, he spread Buddhism to the Indian region, like Indian and Nepal during that time. So yeah, he was a person. He was an inspiration. And nowadays, Buddhism it got very popular. It is actually the fourth or the fifth largest religion in the whole world. But you can see that Buddhism got divided into two, right? So there are many schools of Buddhism in the world. But I want to take a look at the yellow and the red part of the map. So we got Mahayana is a yellow one. We got Theravada, which is the original Buddhism, is a red one. But then the orange one is Tibetan Buddhism, which is very uncommon these days, even though in the map they look big, right? But in Mongolia and Tibet, there are not a lot of people live there. So Mahayana Buddhism is came to China and it come down south to Vietnam. Theravada it come to Sri Lanka to Southeast Asia like that. What is the difference then? For Mahayana Buddhism, which is in Vietnam, the idea is that we try to become a bodhisattva. So a bodhisattva is like an angel almost, and we try to help and we try to support everybody. And the idea we want to reach enlightenment together like that as a community. But for Theravada, it's an original form, so it's very individualistic. People are gonna spend a lot of time in some form of monastery, and they just try to do a lot of meditation, a lot of practices in the hope to reach nirvana. So you see, the end goals is the same, right? The goal is the same, but the approach is different like that, and the teaching it will be slightly different as well. Yeah, he has a football, and there's actually a snail near his eyes as well. So that's the basic idea, and I think a lot of you have heard about this concept already. But this is a monastery. This is a Zen monastery. So even though it's a Mahayana school of thought, but the monks here and the people who come here to practice, they are having a Zen lifestyle like that. So it's also it's very quiet, very individualistic, and they actually have a lot of meditation retreat in this temple complex. This is beautiful, yeah, Susan, and it actually keep getting more and more beautiful. Later on, you know, when I go inside the main hall, you will see all kind of intricate carving. So this is very hard, very tricky because of the reflection for me. But you can see, yeah, there are like a wood carving of a dragon, right? And you've seen him before as well, the laughing Buddha, right, with a big belly. He's a real Zen master, appeared in China around 1500 years ago. So yeah, he depicted as a very joyful, very happy man. But then the big belly, you know, normally in Vietnam, in this part of the world, we appreciate it. You know, we see the big belly as a symbol of prosperity and of happiness like that. So yeah, he's a real person, and he one of the first master who spread Zen Buddhism from China to Japan. Like that. But what's special about the statue is the wood material. So we can really see how old it is because there are a layer of lacquer around the wood, right? We want to make sure that it lasts forever. But this piece of wood come from I don't know the English name, but in Vietnamese we call it thủy tùng. So thủy tùng is a very old wood. It's actually have the year of it's 800 years already. So you see, 800 năm is like 800 years, and they use it to carve the statue in 2014. So yeah, it's a very beautiful form of art, very intricate. You see all the details and everything. It's where he stored his chi. I'm not sure about that. So chi is like energy, right? A form of energy in the belly. One of my yoga teachers used to call it the merciful belly. Merciful belly. I see. I haven't heard about that concept. But yeah, we love him normally. You see him a lot in restaurants, actually, in restaurants, and sometimes we have him in our houses as well. But the idea is he always stand symbolize prosperity, you know, and yes, prosperity and happiness like that. So I actually yesterday I just read a few reviews on Hegel that some of the folk here are not happy with the way I speak. You know, like when I speak, I tend to use the word like this, like that a lot, and I read it and I'm feeling like it's like a habit already. Like I tend to say that in the end. And it's very hard for me to fix that though. Like during this tour today, I noticed I say that a lot as well. So it's like I know my English is like that. I adopt a few words that I feel comfortable with, and maybe some of you wouldn't like listen to it, but please bear with me, all right? Yeah, like this person give me 2 review already, told me to kind of stop saying these things. But anyhow, we got a child here, a child statue, like, and you've seen it before, I think many of you, but this is a young Buddha. The young Buddha, he was just born, and the legend is that when he was born, he can actually stand and walk and 7 steps. So every step he walked, there was like a lotus blooming out of the earth like that. So yeah, yes, these are marble statues, and the mother standing over there, her name is Maya. So this is the birth of the Buddha. No, this is not the birth of the Buddha. I'm sorry. This is the birth of Siddhartha, this person. And later on, when he was around 29 to in his 30s, he reached Nirvana and he became the Buddha. So you see, the word Buddha, it means an awakened being, a person who has woke up from the illusion of this life, like that. Yeah, I say that a lot, like that. Let me see. Oh, thank you, folks, for encouragement and for all the compliment as well. I really appreciate it. So right now we're gonna go into the main temple complex. All right, they're actually making a new gate. So before there was no gate here, and now they are building a new one. So you may hear some sounds of construction. Do you practice? Yes, I do hatha yoga. You see a lot of statues like this, 18 of them to be exact, and those are the Luhan, right? So Luhan is not, he's not like the Buddha that you see, right? Normally the Buddha or Kuan Yin, they are very gentle, very, smiley, and something with his finger here. But the Luhan, they have a kind of a similar story to the Buddha. They was also very wealthy, but then they reach nirvana, enlightenment, and they try to protect Buddhism like that. The noise, it could be very intense, so let me move away from the construction a bit. But take a look at this man. He's holding a tower, you see? And this is actually a special form of Mahayana architect. What you see behind is a Mahayana Buddhist flag. And then the tower is supposed to carrying a Lotus Sutra like that. Lotus Sutra is like a holy Bible, you know, in Buddhism. That I will show you the tower in a couple of minutes. Let me get away from the noise a bit. Yeah. But now I will show you the statues of Guang Yin, you know, the goddess of mercy or the goddess of compassion. Everything in glass right now because they want to make the statue new, right? Which is a very interesting part in Vietnam, I think. We tend to cover everything with glasses or with plastic. So like in our house, sometimes you see the sofa and the remote control, we cover everything with a layer of plastic like that. But of course, for these expensive statue, like the golden one, they make a piece of glass. But Guang Yin, right? For those of you who are new, she is the word Guang Yin. It means to listen to the cry of humanity, listen to the suffering of humanity. And she's very gentle. Actually, she is even more popular than the Buddha himself. But people come to her to pray, asking for a blessing, for luck, for prosperity, for everything actually. And the symbol is one of her hand, like this, is a symbol of wisdom and compassion. And the other hand, right, she pouring a vox, and that vox carrying an elixir to wash away all the suffering of humanity, like that. So yeah, this is the statue of Guang Yin. Wei said, "You love Guang Yin." Oh yes, so do I, so do we. Yeah, Guang Yin. Everybody love her, you know. The Buddha normally, even though he's like the prophet of Buddhism, right? But sometimes I would say a lot of us feel like we put into like we see him as some kind of god almost. It's like something like he the ultimate, you know. And it take a long time for us to become something like the Buddha. But for Guang Yin, we feel like closer connection to her in a way. So those are actually lotus, you know, like lotus leaf. But lotus have many species. So this one is the type that is so big that you can actually stand on it. I forget to save the photos about person stand on it. But the idea is like it's get bigger and bigger, right? And yeah, normally just for the fun of it, people stand on it and they take a photos, you know. Yesterday I did this tour for my European friend, and I actually saw a turtle, you know, on one of these leaves, but now he's gone. Yeah, yeah, now he's gone. So now let's go to the manhole area. She's more modelly, yes. Water lily pot? Water, yeah. So yeah, I could be wrong on it, but from what I learned, it's like in Vietnam we call it like lá sen, so it's like lotus leaf, but then lotus and water lily, they're like family. So yes, I don't know actually. Then that could be a water lily pot, but I will always call it that's the lotus one. Um, there are a few things that are very new for me in this pagoda. Well, that's one is the sao tree, right? So like SALA, Sala or sao tree. And normally you only see it in a pagoda complex, right? We don't really grow them into in our house or our garden or in the public, because the story is that this is like just like the Bodhi tree. This is like a tree that related to Buddhism. It actually producing a very pleasant smell, a very nice scent like that. But this tree, according to the legend, they are attracting a lot of spirit, you know. or I can use the word ghost here as well. And the idea is that in this pagoda, in the temple, they want all the spirits to gathering around, and they believe that if the spirits come here, then they can be rebirthed and have a good life, like that. But the thing that I haven't seen is actually the statue of Guang Yin sitting down. I have never seen anything like this. Like, I show you a lot of statue of Guang Yin before, but normally she like standing tall, you know. But now she kind of sitting down like this, and but then the symbol is the same, also wisdom, and in other hand, she pouring some elixir. She keeping a bottle like that. We got some lotus here as well, but the lotus is not looking that great, considering it's not really a time for them. It was raining a lot these days. But normally they grows in the morning. So here in other typical statue that you see. This is the end of the Buddha life, right? Because he was a person, so he passed away at the age of 84. So 84 years old. Actually, he passed away due to food poisoning. But then he very tired, but he still want to talk to his disciple. So that's why you see this statue, right? He sitting down and he lying down like that under a cushion, and his disciple would gathering together, and they would having a satsang, or he would giving a dharma, like a teaching to his students like that. Yeah, so the Buddha lying down. She's so pretty. I love every statue I have seen of her, of Guang Yin. Yes. Yeah, the monastery is pretty new though. But then I read story that there was like a small like temple, you know, like a pagoda, much older than this before, and now they kind of expanding, you know, expanding the complex. And yeah, like 12 years ago, in 2010, 11, they invested a lot of money and they built a lot of complexes and rooms and meditation hall for the Buddhists, or for anyone really want to, because here we have meditation retreat, right? And everyone can join, you know, it's for free. And normally we will stay for around 10 days, 4 to 7 to 10 days in a pagoda like that. Yeah, so folks, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I used the word lotus leaf for this one. But now Zen, you said this is water lily parts, and I'm gonna take a look, all right? And maybe I'll let you know which one is right. I think you are right, Zen. But I'll let you know in the next tour. What do you think, Spring? I think the lying down Buddha is my second favorite Buddha statue. I see. That one, he's very gentle as well. You know, very relaxing. First time I have seen Guang Yin before either. I see. Right now, we will walk to the main hall, of the pagoda. Actually, again, this is for lotus. Normally, we did a few lotus tour, but you can see now it's become like this. So like no lotus, only mud. You know. Actually, there's like one tiny one over there. And maybe she's gonna bloom. But normally lotus, I think in the northern region, they have a lot of them right now. But in the south, it's kind of everything is over. You know, with the rain, the lotus it just won't bloom a lot anymore. So this is what a complex look like. There's a few important things that we can take note. The first one is the tower right there. So that tower, like I mentioned, we store the books like the sutra, and there will be a lot of statues of the Buddha there as well. And then there will be a bell, almost like a gazebo over there. And that one is like a big, normally bronze bell or a drum. that the monk use. They drink it, as normally as around 3:30 a.m. to walk everybody up. And I will show you what the schedule of a meditation retreat right now. And then we will go inside that main hall to see what is inside. So I don't know the reason why. So the second thing that I feel amazed by this pagoda is the peafowls. It's very uncommon though, but they actually keeping a peacock inside, like at the garden area of the pagoda. So it's a mystery for me. I supposed to ask one of the monk yesterday, but yeah, I seen one, but then he's gone. So I don't know the answer for now. The peafowl, they keep notes. They let us know that this is the Indian peafowls and peacock, and it's actually a national bird in India. So it's actually a kind of like an exotic, a rare animal. And the female one look like this, so like almost like like a big bird, but normally the other one is beautiful, right? The peacock. Why is it important? Is in Indian culture, Hinduism is a dominant religion, right? And one of their god, her name is Kartikaya. She actually depicted as riding on a peacock, and a peacock is a symbolize. It could symbolize peace. I don't know if it symbolize awakening as well, color. I don't know that, but normally it's related to peace and it's related to beauty. In India, they keep them as pet. I don't. Oh, it's new for me as well, because I know that this is like a national bird of India. But now I learned that they keep them as pet as well. So this lady, she seemed to like me, and she come closer to me. You see, but the other one, I'm not sure. Actually, I always fancy to see them kind of spread their wings because it's gonna be very, very pretty. Yeah, but I guess we have to keep moving. Yeah, so Indian peacock and peafowl are the one that you're seeing right now. Hello. Croc, 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 croc. I think she come close to me because she kept looking for food like that. They are often seen wandering around the garden in Indian hotels. Oh, so they just let it wandering like that. I see. In Vietnam, it's very rare though. So I only see them, I think, a few times in the zoo. And I have never seen them in a garden like this. Yeah, the Indian. In Vietnamese, we said it chim công. Let me show you. So the word chim is like a bird. Kong is a dancer, so it's like a dancing bird. And Ando is India. Do we have any questions so far? Let me see. There's some living wire next to. Oh, really? In England, where you live, there's some peacock and peacock. Here is an orchid garden, for the monk, but they're using coconut shelf like this. Coconut shelf as a fertilizer for the trees, right? Lots and lots of them. They grow mostly orchid and different plants. They often seen wandering. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, so far so good. I think how on is the yes. All right. If you have any wondering, about Buddhism or anything about Vietnam, let us know. All right. I try to see what I can do. So this one normally is very expensive. These kind of flowers, but right now let me show you the schedule. So I don't know the name of this flower, but even though it looks small, but it's very pretty as well, like the purple one. And of course, there are tons of coconut shelf in the bottom. as a fertilizer. So the husk and the shell, normally we could burn them. It's like a charcoal, and it's like a fuel in cooking, and we could use them as a fertilizer, as a nutrient for the trees, like that. So this is what a schedule look like. If you ever join a meditation retreat in Vietnam, I would say the time is pretty, even though it's a relaxing period of time, but we need to be very early and kind of, they are disciplined in it as well. So like 3:30 a.m. we have to wake up, right? Wake up, and then we will do some form of meditation, or we listen to the monk, and then 5:30 is like breakfast time, and we will eat, like 3 meals a day. It's all vegan food, and then 7 is like from 7 until around 11 and 12, I would say, is a time where we either listen to the monk, or we do something, we do something that believed to be beneficial for our karma. And then it's just go on like different activity until 10 p.m. we go to bed, like that. So yeah, normally it's gonna last for around 3 days. There could be 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, or even months. And of course, if we want to become a monk or the nuns, then we could do it for all our life. Have you ever stayed at the temple like this hill for a retreat? No, I haven't. Yeah, I go to the pagoda a lot, but I haven't joined any retreat. Normally, yeah, I want to join a Vipassana one, like Vipassana meditation, but I haven't done it. I done a retreat in India though, but not in Vietnam. And the one in Vietnam, actually, if you go join this retreat, you see that the young one, like we rarely do it. Mainly, it's like the auntie and the uncle, like that. So those are it's a general. It's, they call it the illustration of karma, right? But I don't know. How truthful is it, because it seems to be very general, but I guess this concept, karma, cause and effect, these kind of rules is like a fusion between Buddhism and Confucianism, which appeared in China a long time ago. So some of them say here is like treating other with love, kindness, and respect, and in the next line we will have a loving and kind face, like that. So yeah, I would say I take a look at them just for the fun of it, but I don't take it too seriously. All right, now we will go inside the main hall. Becca, where do you work? Yeah, this is another statues of Huang Yi, of the Lady Buddha, and dragon fruits. Yeah. It's actually, you see them everywhere. Actually, 65, I think, no, 75, 76% of the fruit production in the Mekong are dragon fruit. So it's very valuable for us. Most of them are dragon fruit. But just for the one that are new to us, please take a look at the old map if you have seen it already. But we are in the red city right now, in the red region, you see. I mean, if you look at the first map, you will see it's a Mekong in the southern region. It's got divided into 13 different provinces, and the red area is Cần Thơ city. So Cantho, Cần Thơ. And Cần Thơ, the city, is actually the capital of the Mekong. So this is like the economic key region in the whole Mekong area. This is where most of the fruit production, most of the money, and most of the tourism activity are located. The word Cần Thơ, however, interesting. It's come from the Khmer Empire, because it used to be the kingdom that lived here, the Khmer Empire, and the word Cần Thơ is preferred to a fish. This one over here is called a snake skin gourami. All right, so that's it a bit about the city. Right now, I'm gonna walk inside. So always there's this kind of size, you know. It's like, please take your shoes off. And a bit about the architect here. We got mainly it's all wood. They use iron wood and sometimes bamboo for the buildings. But they make a very high, how do you call it? High. They make it very high here. So the idea is when we entering a temple, we need to bow down to everything in front of us. So typically we need to bow down to the Buddha and sometimes to Guang Yi. And yeah, everything worked by wood, which is beautiful. And they have this very detailed carving as well. Normally the carving is about lotus flower and bird, sometimes dragon. Yeah. So this is one of the bodhisattva, and you can see that she sit on a elephant, holding a lotus and a book. So bodhisattva in general, you can considering them as the angel, right? So they are just like the Buddha, but they actually trying to spending most of their time to help us achieve nirvana. Oh, don't worry, Ed. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate your time. You know, I know a lot of you have things to do, and you to make it to this tour, and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you. So this one is actually a monk. You know, a monk, and we call him Đức Thánh, which is a saint. So they are not the Buddha yet, but they are a very wise person like that. And even the vase here is pretty beautiful as well. So I'm feeling like to just turn it around a bit. So it's a vase where you can see a dragon. Yeah, it's only dragon here. Normally dragon and phoenix as well. Actually, somebody offering a lot of apple for for the bodhisattva. And here's what the main hall look like. So the main hall, right? You see Guang Yin, a smaller statue of Guang Yin. So Guang Yin is one of the students of the Buddha, right? And she's sitting right in front. And normally we pray to her, but after our prayer, like after we are done with asking for things and asking for blessing, we actually approaching, we visualizing the image of the Buddha like that. So the Buddha right behind, he sit under a Bodhi tree. So the golden frame that you see around you is supposed to be decoration of dragon and phoenix, which is in the oriented culture. But right behind the Buddha is the Bodhi tree. And that's it. So we visualize that, right? That's it, the time where he sit down and he get enlightened. So you see, that's the idea. Well, the cranes, the bird standing on the turtle, is symbolize longevity, because in Chinese mythology, that bird, that crane, we believe that they could live to 10,000 years. You know, so that's in the myth. And the turtle is always the symbol of longevity as well. So that's the idea. So we got longevity. We asking Wang Yin for the blessing and for health, for all the good deeds. And finally, in the end, the Buddha is always behind. So we visualize him. We visualize Nirvana. So the roof. Everything is so beautiful here, you know. Even though this is actually, it's not really an ancient hall, considering it was built just around 10 years ago. But they do care about the attention, the details of everything. The statues, the offering is so fresh, and the flower is very pleasant as well. The turtle, they make it a bit different, I think. Turtle look a bit like a dog, I would say. But do we have any question so far? The wood is marvelous color, yes. So we call it gold lim, right? So it's a kind of iron wood, but then we have a piece of lacquer to go around it. In the monastery, yes, they open 24/7. There's no gate really. I mean, they make a gate, but there's no. They don't close it, you know. So you can come in anytime. All right. So now we are coming to the end. I'm gonna show you another hall. All right, which is very beautiful, and I will show you the statue of Bodhidharma, which is the first person who brought Zen Buddhism to China. I think I will talk more about Zen, the Zen history and philosophy in our next temple tour, because we actually did it with Eriko. So Eriko will show you one of her temple in Japan, and then you can hop on our tour for another temple, and that's one actually the oldest temple in Vietnam. Trấn Quốc Pagoda is located in Hanoi, in the capital. So this is the head monk right now, the head monk of the pagoda. So his name is Thích Bình Tâm. Thích Bình Tâm is the name. And here you see another set of lots of Luhan statues. So calm here. And not a lot of people come here because it's so far away from the city center. I would say in the weekend or on a special Buddha day, Buddha festival, Buddhist festival, people will start coming more. But I think this morning it's just only me and I saw another family. These things you always see a painting picture of lotus flower, and they have a little quote, like Buddhist quote, and let me translate some of them for you. So cảm ơn đời với những gì tôi đã có, cảm ơn đời những gì tôi không có, which means I'm grateful for life to produce me. Wait, I'm not so good with translation. Let me try it again. Cảm ơn đời với những gì tôi đã có. I'm grateful for what I already have. And the second one, cảm ơn đời những gì tôi không có, which means I'm grateful for what I don't have. Like that. It's so poetic in Vietnamese, you know, but translate to English, it's kind of, the meaning is blurry a bit. So I'm grateful for what I already have. And I'm also grateful for what I don't have, for what I wanted, but I don't have it. Like that. So a second one, shall we? So it said, I hope you can see it. Yeah, let me zoom it. Mỗi người đều có những cuộc gặp gỡ suốt đời không thể quên được. Đó là duyên phận. It means that each one of us will have a very special meeting, encounter in our life that we never forget. And it's talking about a relationship, you know. And that is called destiny. You read that, Spring? So yeah, it's a calming vibe. But around 1600 years ago, 1600 years ago, there was an emperor in China. His name is Wu. So W-U, like that. Wu, he was an emperor of the kingdom, right? And he really wanted to spread Buddhism to everyone, to his citizen. So he made sure that there was a lot of decent pagoda was being built, and he try his best, to spread the message like that. But we all know that Buddhism is originated from India, right? From India, and therefore the emperor he's actually asking masters, like master in India, enlightened beings from the neighbor country, to come to his country and teach him about Buddhism and answering some of his like burning questions like that. And it's very difficult because during that time, even India and China, they are like neighboring country. But to travel from India to China, people have to cross the Himalayas, and it was a very tall mountain, So the road there before the Silk Road is kind of tricky to come like that. But eventually, we got two person, the Bodhidharma and one of his students. So the Bodhidharma is not like the Buddha though. You can see that he looking angry, he looking a bit grumpy like that. But he was also a young man, and he was also a prince of a kingdom. So he achieved nirvana, and he actually decided to travel to China to speak about Buddhism like that. And the emperor, the Wu emperor, he was so happy when he heard about the news. So he prepared everything. He kind of prepared a ceremony, and he makes sure that the Bodhidharma, when he came, he will receive the good treatment from the king like that. And then the Bodhidharma, he came to China. He eventually arrived at the citadel and he met the king. So the emperor, when he saw Bodhidharma, he actually became very frustrated because the Bodhidharma looked nothing like the Buddha that he imagined. The Buddha is very gentle, right? Very gentle, very smiling. And his face is very good looking, it's look almost perfect. But this young boy traveling a long way, he look a little bit dirty, and he doesn't look that great in general. So the king got frustrated. But anyhow, he met with Bodhidharma, and he would use this opportunity to ask his burning question. So what's the burning question then? So they would gather together, and the emperor, he would ask the Bodhidharma that, okay, you have come a long way. I've got some question for you that I really want to know about Buddhism and about myself. So the first question that I have for you is, what is the source of this creation? What is like the beginning, the source, the very foundation of this universe, of the creation? And the Bodhidharma, he looked at the king and he said, what a stupid question. Please ask something else. Don't ask me such nonsense like this. And the emperor, he got so frustrated. He got a bit angry as well. Because it's like his deep question, and the Bodhidharma just brush it off like nothing. So, but the emperor, he of course, he know that this is an enlightened beings, very well respected in India, and so he honed it. He honed his frustration and anger, and he was like, okay, so let me ask you a second question. So, what is the source of me? Like, who am I? Like, what is the source of this being here? And Bodhidharma, he also looked at the king and he laughed and he was like, oh, that's actually another stupid question. Please ask something else, Don't keep asking me these things. So now the king, he got furious, he got so angry that he decided to actually to kick the Bodhidharma out of his kingdom. Like he just abandoned him. So like no more ceremony, everything cancelled, you know. And he see that this man is not suitable to spread Buddhism because in the king mind, right, for the emperor, like this, at that time, the Wu emperor, he see that the Buddha is like a god, is like some kind of mystical beings, and his disciple would be some kind of very wise, very intelligent, and gentle man, you know. But this man, he just goes against everything that the king have in mind, like that. So the Bodhidharma, he choose to come to China to spread Buddhism, right? And he continue, you know, he doesn't give up. But the thing is, he actually he have to did it alone this time, without the support from the king, from the emperor. So this one, let me stand closer. You can see a statue of him. So he went into the wilderness in China, and he got only one student going along with him. But eventually, he gathering a few students, a few disciples like that, and he started the teaching of Zen Buddhism to everyone. So this, folks, you're seeing a very beautiful wooden statue of the Bodhidharma. So you see, the idea with Zen is actually for a lot of us, including, as you see in the story, the king. It's very hard to comprehend because in Zen Buddhism, the emphasis is for the master. They never try to give the answer, you know, give the answer to satisfy the minds of the students. But in Zen Buddhism, we will focus on a lot of practices, and we focus on the experience. We have to experience and feel the thing that we want to search, like that. So it's a very difficult path, I would say. So in China, it wasn't so popular during that time though. So Bodhidharma, this master, he tried to bring Zen into China, but it actually took a very long time. I would say it never got that popular in China. But luckily, when Buddhism continued its path to the east, it ended up in Japan. And in Japan, it's blooming, you know. It was a very special time. Like there was a lot of Zen monk and master in Japan, and they have different approaches to Zen Buddhism, and it flourished. But in China, even though Bodhidharma came, he gathering a few students, and he did his job practicing. Spreading Buddhism. But yeah, it's not an easy path to follow, considering the Chinese, the China as a kingdom, they following Confucian, right? Confucianism, it's all about following orders and following rules and regulation like that. So something like Zen Buddhism, it's very tricky to comprehend. So let me see. I just see a very long chat, I think. Oh, Zen. Let me see. There's a wonderful book about a Chinese monk traveling to India and taking Buddhism back to India. I will find the title and book. Thank you, Zen. Thank you. Always good to read things from you. Taking Buddhism back to China. Yes. All right, folks. Let's see the story. And I think I will dive deep into the story on another tour. If I encounter a pagoda with a statue of Bodhidharma like this. But now you know the story, right? If you come to Vietnam or anywhere, if you see a kind of angry man holding a stick, wearing a monk uniform, but doesn't look that friendly, then he is Bodhidharma, right? And that's another thing, because people tend to assume that when a person achieve nirvana, when a person become enlightened, they need to be very gentle. You know, they need to be very gentle and maybe positive, very happy. But it doesn't like that. The word awaken, the word nirvana, it means awakening, right? And we could awake, we could get enlightened, but our personality, it doesn't really change. So, folks, thank you for coming to the tour today. I really appreciate it. I always appreciate your time and your attention. Now we are coming to the end, so I wish you all the very best thing in life. I wish you God bless in whatever you do, and I wish you got all the prosperity and all the luck as well. You know, please enjoy your evening. I think most of you is it's getting late in North America, and please enjoy your night. Dawn, I would say. Dawn, you're only joining during this time. It's like 2 3 a.m. in England, I think. So yeah, please enjoy your night and keep in touch. We will pass down our link tree for you. So if you are new, if this is your first time, you can click on the link tree and save our ebook. But for the regular folks, we will see you in Hanoi. All right. Now, actually, I will run back home, pack everything, and I have to, go to the airport. So, peace and blessing to you all. Thank you for coming one more time. Right now, I just maybe walk for just a minute or two in silence before I end the tour. So, thank you for joining. Thank you, John. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Laurie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Book. All right. Bye for now. And I hope to see all of you soon.